Hey guys, so we just wrapped up our investigation tonight, Friday, October 10th.
Right now, it's about 3:15 in the morning. We just finished up, the group just left, and we wanted to, while it's all fresh in our minds, get this information out to you guys. It was a pretty weird night, really fun group, but everybody had something pretty interesting happen.
Tonight, whenever I was in the balcony with my second group, that flashlight interaction that we've been getting kind of started up again.
Now, this is the perfect kind of tricky situation that I always struggle with on these ghost hunts, because we've got flashlights on the one hand that the timing is just unbelievable.
It was funny because the flashlights were set up for a long time, but they didn't come on for about a half hour, and it didn't come on until I saw a light come on, which was like kind of like a motion light in the stairwell.
Which is normal for us, we're used to that light going on and off. But she says, oh, that made me think of the flashlight turning on for a second.
And I said, oh man, I thought that was the flashlight. And then the flashlight came on.
God, that was so weird. So you're like, oh, I thought that was the flashlight.
Yeah, because that
about the light over on the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
And then the flashlight came on.
And the timing of it, that was so weird.
I
And
know.
it just flicked on and then flicked off. It didn't stay on and then like die out. You know?
Right. Can you turn on that flashlight again or another flashlight for us, please? I mean, that flashlight, which was just kind of ridiculous. Nobody knew what to make of it. And after that, the flashlights kept turning on like normal. But it was every 2 minutes or so. It was pretty normal flashlight stuff, not really anything super ghostly, until it switches to the next flashlight, and that one's turning on every couple of minutes or so, and the other one never turns on again. So it's normal, but it just got a little bit of weirdness, a little bit of weird timing. And that's really just what we have to deal with all the time up here at the Stanley, is like a little bit of weirdness, but a little bit of stuff to be critical about too. So who really knows? Just leave us banging our heads against the wall. That's the job.
The weirdest thing that happened to me tonight was in the middle of the investigation, about 1:15 a.m., my sister, who's in Texas, texted me. And I thought, okay, that's strange. And she said, I had a really weird urge to tell you about cotton candy. I don't know why, and it was really bothering me because that's never happened before. So something about cotton candy. And that's so weird because that's not something my sister does. It's not something that like is common. So I started talking about it, and I now owe a spirit cotton candy next time I come up to the hotel, because I said, if you can turn on one of the other flashlights, I will bring you cotton candy. And it came on. I kind of think, I don't know, I've been having some weird activity at my house, and today I was eating cotton candy flavored Micanites, and so it was really weird that because I bought those like 3 weeks ago and I just now tried them. And so I thought it was just so strange that I had just tried those before I left to come up to the ghost hunt, and then my sister in Texas was like, hey, cotton candy, by the way. So I don't know what that was.
So during my first group, Carl and I were down here in Lucy's room, and one thing that we had happen was during my burst session, I was running my audio recorder, and at the end of the session, the 3 minutes pass for my recording time, and I say, okay, thank you, and I go to pick up my recorder. When we listen back, we hear another voice say, thank you for that, after I said thank you. While I was like walking across the room to go pick up my recorder, somebody said, thank you for that. Did somebody say something after I said thank you? You hear that? Another voice there.
Yeah, I heard a different thank you. It says
Thank you again, yeah.
Thank you for that. Now here's the thing, and this is an important fact that I'm just recently starting to pick up on. I have to run a control audio as well. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Alright. Stand Stand up, put your ear to the speaker, you can hear it.
And it's definitely not the coughing.
It's not the coughing. Now here's the other audio recorder running at the same time.
It's a voice under the cough. Yeah. I was hearing the second cough. Like a whistle.
Thank you. So I have another audio recorder running, and when I go back to listen, I also hear a voice saying, "Thank you for that." It's faint, but because I hear it on two recorders, I don't think that it was an EVP like we thought it was at the time. I think it was somebody in the room, and we just didn't identify it properly.
So we decided to use the dowsing rods in the second group in the balcony. I don't take those out too often, but I feel like it was kind of the right group to do it with. If you're the most drawn to me, where am I? Where am I going now? Where am I now?
Okay.
I started out and then we started, kind of taking turns. And we talked to what might be the new spirit. First it was kind of Eddie coming across, but then it said it might be the woman in the bathroom that doesn't like to talk about herself. But then it kind of went back to maybe Eddie, so it's kind of weird. I couldn't establish who we were talking to, but everyone who tried the dowsing rods, they were shocked. I guess they thought each person was just like faking it or something, but when they felt like the magnetic pull, that's when they were really kind of excited. Is this still the male spirit with us?
Are you tired of us? Don't say yes.
Just trying to be polite. It's a not so harsh. Me a little bit. Man. Do you feel the pull?
Yeah.
Is this the person who has been watching and observing us, and we don't really know your name, but are you that unidentified spirit? Is that who we're talking to? So if this is that person, they don't like to talk about themselves for some reason or another.
They'd rather be at the beach, and I get it.
Well, there was a while ago, there was a spirit in the women's bathroom, a female spirit, that every time we started talking to her, she wouldn't talk about herself at all.
Mm-hmm.
But we've recently had another spirit doing that too. Is this the same spirit? Are you the spirit we spoke with in the bathroom who wouldn't talk about herself? Many months ago, years ago even. It's weirdly tentative, yes.
So, we got some answers. I can't really say definitively who we were talking to, but it just kind of builds that mystery of who is that unofficial, unidentified spirit number 4.
At the end of the night, afterwards, in the very last hour, while Michelle and Carl were out in the main area talking with some guests, I decided to come in here with people who were still investigating. So there was a few people scattered throughout Lucy's room in here, and I sat down in the chair in the corner. Now, I heard a breath again. Now, if you guys remember the vlog from September 12th, on September 12th, we were getting those breaths over and over again. The breath happened again. And as I'm sitting here, suddenly it's silent, and we hear this, like this Darth Vader kind of breath from the center of the room. I'm so convinced that it's a guest that I don't even bring it up at first. And about 20 seconds later, I say, I heard a breath, assuming that the guy across from me would be like, hey, that was me. And he says, I thought that was you. That wasn't you? And I'm like, no, I thought it was you. It's the same thing that happened. Somebody was breathing in between us. It would have been really close to me, and it sort of gave me the chills even just talking about it, because it was sort of an eerie breath.
So tonight, October 10th, the ghost hunt tonight is Saturday night. I was not actually on the clock. I wanted to show up and shoot a little bit of like B-roll, a little bit of video, but otherwise hang back and really let Michelle and Connor kind of take to those different respective area and get some video clips of them. And it was kind of interesting to take that backseat approach because I just kind of got to observe how they both worked, but also what kind of stuff we got. It was pretty weird when we were in Lucy's room though with Connor and I.
I'm sitting in the room, and Carl's in here with me too. And basically what we were doing is I was listening back to an old burst session.
I'm sitting there getting some interesting shots. You know, Connor is going back and listening to a burst session that we had all just recorded. And in the middle of it, I feel a little vibration in my pocket. I feel like someone's calling. It's probably Michelle showing up, I thought, to me let it into the building.
And so I'm using my phone as an ambient light, watching the timing sequence go by on the audio recorder. And suddenly, Carl, from across the room, says,
"So, Connor, you calling me right now? Like, is something going on?"
I'm like, "No," as I'm sitting there holding my hand on my phone. And I look, and sure enough, my phone somehow had started calling Carl.
Connor, are you calling me right now?
Yes. That's weird.
Why?
I'm sitting here with my phone in my hand.
How the hell are you?
I have no idea. I've been holding it like this. I don't know what happened. Okay.
Alright.
Alright, well my phone's calling Carl. Hey, Lucy, if you wanted to reach around and give him a little phone call. Maybe you should have cut it off.
I should have answered it.
I don't know how that happened.
I know phones are wonky.
I don't know if I had my pinky wrapped around a button somehow, and it was continuously pressing all the buttons that had to go into a sequence to call Carl.
I don't know if that's a butt dial or if that's a burst dial. I don't know what you call it.
It was the weirdest thing. Of all people in my contacts list, somehow Carl comes up on my phone. Now Carl was sitting there staring at my hand, and the entire group was, as I'm just holding my phone stationary, using it as a light over the audio recorder. Really bizarre.
He was calling me. It was weird. Maybe it's a ghost, maybe it's not a ghost, but it's kind of a weird moment.
Another thing that happened was we had somebody sitting in the magic seat, and she felt herself get touched on the shoulder. We had 2 people get touched tonight. We had one guest feel his shirt collar tugged behind him, and he was sitting in this chair right here, this white chair. And then we had another woman who said she felt somebody tapping in the area of her shoulder, and she was sitting in the couch, which is something that has happened the last 4 weekends now. We've had somebody sitting in the same spot feel a tap on their shoulder or a tap on their leg. So it seems to be the hot seat, and I'm gonna try not telling the groups about this just to continue the experiment and see if that seat really is a magic seat for some reason. It's pretty weird that it's happening so frequently in that seat in particular. Alright guys, thanks again for tuning in. That was our vlog for October 10th. It's actually our last public ghost hunt for the entire month of October. We have a few private hunts set up where groups come in and request a private hunt through management. It's a whole big thing, but we will be here with some private groups, so we'll see if we're going to keep you updated on what happens there. If anything really crazy happens, we're definitely going to let you guys know. So we will be back, and we will continue to be in touch, and we're going to continue our investigation into who's breathing out loud so often in Lucy's room, who's talking with us through flashlights, but we don't know who it is, and who this mysterious 4th spirit is that's been coming across throughout the entire concert hall building here. It's been a really good last couple of months, and we hope you guys are enjoying being along for the ride. Thanks for tuning in. It's crazy.
Oh, mouse.
There's a mouse right there.
Oh, Jesus.
Your face. You started freaking me out.
Well, I saw your face and I was like, what the, wait, what?
I saw like something move.
I'm a little freaked out.
It was big.
What if my chair was vibrating? So I was sitting in this chair and it was vibrating. What if it was vibrating because there was a mouse inside the chair? It's pretty late, huh?
It's pretty late and I just saw a freaking mouse.
You know how you felt when you felt yourself get touched last week?
Yes.
What if it was a mouse? I'm gonna go with it being a ghost.
Ghost.
Spit team out.